Hello and welcome back to Inquisitor Martyr. Last time we went to a hive city to investigate some mutants and their activities that are tied to chaos, and this time we get to investigate the mutant hideout in an abandoned furnace down in the Undercity, which would be part of a hive. Or, well, yeah, because it'd be a Hab city. Let's go!
To the destination. This must be the lair of the cult.
Now, today's topic is fitting chaos cults. Now, as you can see, like your typical chaos cult, there isn't really a typical for chaos cults. There are things you'll find more common than others. Mutants, especially mutants, thanks to the taint of the warp affecting some members of society, or just people being mutants in the first place. But between different cults, things are different. Like, a Nurgle or Coronate cult, you can typically find in the lower parts of a hive. You'll find them made up, especially Nurgle, it's made up of the lower classes. A lot of, like, you find septic workers or the insane or mutants. Those that some would consider the dregs of society. Within Khorne cults, you might find prisoners, gladiators, mercenaries, things of that ilk. You'll find normal people, but there's usually kind of a certain appearance or certain type each cult attracts. Slaanesh and Tzeentch cults will draw from anywhere, but especially Slaanesh, you have a good chance of them appearing at the top. You know, decadence and depravity. How many people living in slums fully understand decadence? But the rich who live at the top of Hab spires and all this, who live very easy lives where nothing is a challenge, nothing is really worked for, they'll look for a thrill. Chaos worship might be that thrill. And so you can typically find those cults, or at least you have a high chance of finding them scattered there. Now, how a cult ties into a Chaos Warband like Thousand Sons or Black Legion is that a group of renegade Space Marines are not going to go boots on the ground without assistance. They're not stupid. They're going to use a cult as the meat shields, as the guys to take the hits and to prep a world for invasion. You see this exact same thing with groups of Gene Stealers, with Gene Stealer cults. They will, just like Chaos, reach out and get members into the military, into politics. They'll get themselves entrenched enough that when they spring their invasion, they can bring the great grinding wheels of the military and the bureaucracy to a halt. And to my knowledge, within tabletop, Chaos has never gotten, like, Chaos cults don't really have an army per se. It's usually just like, oh, you're renegade law. You know, you're renegade Adeptus Astartes. You're, you know, Chaos Space Marines. You're renegade Imperial Guard. You know, they're not gonna make a full book on them, which is a shame, because I'd like to have... I want full proper rules for Chaos.
But I was too late. There are no survivors left. Maybe you could give me the strength to avenge them. I found they were guilty of heresy.
And I mean, I've said before, you know, I'd love to see proper armies for, you know, beastmen. I'd like to see good chaos stuff, because I like playing as, like, chaos groups. I think they're fun and interesting. Especially with the being able to worship different chaos gods and that having an effect on unit selection and effectively your capabilities. I think it's cool. And I get bored of just Space Marines, like even Chaos Space Marines. As cool as they are, they're never fleshed out enough for me to be like, oh yeah, I'm gonna play Chaos all the time. It's just like normal Space Marines. They do like, oh, here's like 3 groups of Space Marines who get full codices with all the cool stuff, and then everybody else it's just like, yeah, here's 3 alternate rules, and that's enough. And to me, I want all the stuff. I want tons of things, you know. Give me a full rule set for salamanders that gives me like a brand new dreadnought with big old flamers. Give me stuff like that, because I'm all for it. I think it adds a lot more intrigue to factions that don't get enough content as it stands. Now that I think about it, a lot of different factions kind of use the we prep a world for invasion to some degree. Because even, I mean, orcs don't do it intentionally, but since orcs spawn from mushrooms, they have the ability to then effectively they can keep spawning. If an orc invasion fails, those spores will have spread, and there's a chance some orc mushroom is going to pop out and wah everywhere all over again. Makes them very pervasive when you think about it. Cleansing an area must be very difficult. I'm hitting the wrong button. I'm hitting up thinking that's my minimap. That's just emotes.
Charge!
I forget this game has emotes. It also has PvP, if you can believe it. Would I do PvP? Hell no. Games like this... I'm sorry, ARPGs, I don't care if it's Diablo, Martyr,
incoming gas attack. Time to leave.
I keep forgetting the name of it, but the one by Grinding Gear Games. You know what I'm talking about. That one, it doesn't matter. Grim Dawn, it could be anything. I'm still not doing it. PvP in these kind of games always comes off as a very foreign concept and almost feels like a joke. This has to end like right here.
Cleansing shots fired.
Oh, back to cults. Within like what you would typically see them armed with, the short version is everything.
Dozens must have been sacrificed in this slaughterhouse. Life in the underhive can get worse, it seems.
Oh yeah, this.
Very reassuring. Anything else to report? First the servo skulls, and now this. Tech Priest, I want a full analysis and report once I'm back on the ship. Strange. This data slate entry is decades old, and the Monolith was inactive back then. I'm sure the tech priest would be thrilled to see that it has become quite active since then.
We'll quick clear out the rest of this place, but that's an interesting bit if you pause to read those bits of text. I try to make it so you guys can pause it and read them, because I've tried reading that stuff, and it's easier just for you to read it yourselves. I screw up reading stuff all the time. But one of the things is that this monolith, not monument, monolith, is millions of years old. Which also conveniently happens to kind of be around the same age as one of my favorite factions, the Necrons. I'll tell you here now, it isn't the Necrons. But that raises more questions, I'm sure, for some of you. Why is there a millions-of-year-old piece of technology that looks oddly Necron, but it isn't Necron? That gets expanded upon later.
Purified.
People were actually talking online about Season 3 for this game, which I'm eager to see what they have in store. Hopefully we get the Necron, so I'll have to buy whatever expansion they have, come out with that. Or we might get... I mean, we could get a Slaneshi-related group. Tzeentch. I'm still waiting on a group for Tzeentch. I mean, it would probably be a new big DLC, but I could do with a new character. Really want a Grey Knight. I think it'd be really neat. As much as they are so heavily plot armored and kind of BS in their design, I think Grey Knights are still cool. I would say someone who can summon Inquisitorial Stormtroopers, but the Tech Priest already effectively does that. I'm actually going to take cover here. So there's a lot of guys just hanging around. At least behind cover I'm a little safe. Until they blow out the cover and then I'm in deep trouble, but whatever. That's a problem for future me to deal with. Oh, and I forgot weird collars. The Psychers don't explode. I'm so used to normal Psychers that the second they die, they do that nuke and wipe out any other Psychers nearby. I'm so used to it. It's such a nice effect to have. Because then you just bait them all together, wipe one out, and even if you don't kill them, you take like half their health in one hit. It's really good when they do like hologram decoy thing. Because then those idiots create more themselves.
Cogitator here. This is a strange development. Stay alert, Tech Priest. I might need your help with data recovery.
Let's snag that cogitator before we head out. Alright, and with that, we are going to call it. If you enjoyed this episode, please make sure to hit the like button. It helps out the channel a lot. If you are new, please make sure to hit the subscribe button. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.